Can I have a motion to open the meeting, please?
So moved. Second.
Second.
That one.
All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
No.
Aye.
Did we put in for you, Jordan? It didn't come out. Okay.
She's an aye.
Ryan? Oh, because
I'm
I'm
aye.
not actually logged in. Okay. And Dan?
Yeah.
Good. That's unanimous.
Great. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we go into public input tonight, we have a little bit of an issue with our audio, so I'm going to have Scott Fisher explain it. If you could, Scott.
Sure. So we have an issue with the device that connects our camera to the computer, which would capture the audio. So I've rigged up the best I can a system that hopefully will work for tonight. So the computer in front of you is acting as your video for the Zoom meeting. The camcorder is recording the entire meeting, so I will use that to post the meeting online after the meeting, the recording. So everything that takes place in the room is being captured visually and in terms of audio. So we should be okay.
And we've ordered the part.
Yes, should be here tomorrow according to the email I got.
Great, thank you. Okay, public input number one. The rules for public input are any group or organization wishing to address the board must identify a single spokesperson. Speakers have up to 3 minutes. Speakers will address remarks to the president. Speakers will conduct themselves in a civil and respectful manner. Speakers will not address personnel or students. If a speaker wants to speak a second time, they may speak at public input 2. And the board president has the right to discontinue public input at any time. At this time, is there anyone who would like to speak at public input number 1? Thank you. Just write your name on that piece of paper for me, even though we all know who you are. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Anthony Malia. I'm the president of the Teachers Association of Sag Harbor. I'm also a Pearson math and special education teacher. Typically, an educational initiative takes 3 to 5 years before you start to see the effect it has in our classrooms. Tonight, I wanted to take a moment to thank the Board of Education and our Pearson administrators for making 2 notable changes that are already having a noticeable impact on student learning and well-being. First, there's a noticeable and appreciated improvement in the security presence of our buildings. Equally as importantly, these changes have been made thoughtfully and carefully. Second, I spent some time in the last few days talking to the majority of the teachers at Pearson and receiving decidedly positive reports about Yonder and the new cell phone policy. Implementation of changes have gone better than most expected. In our classrooms, Yonder appears to be cutting down on the number of disruptions to learning. Students are less distracted by whatever may be going on in their digital lives. They are getting more done in groups, using their time more effectively in academic support, and actually talking to one another again in the hallways and in the lunchroom. With only 40 minutes in a class period, every single minute of every single day matters. Before Yonder, it was not unusual for students to lose valuable minutes of instruction, turning in and then retrieving their cell phones, or giving in to the temptation to make unnecessary bathroom breaks to check in on their digital lives. Just a few minutes per day in a classroom is the equivalent of the loss of 9 to 18 class periods of learning, or 5 to 10% of the school year. We know from Department of Education studies that this sort of loss of class time can have a deleterious impact on student academic performance and drive the type of anxiety that worsens student mental health. In fact, study after study is now showing that detaching students from their digital lives during the school day can have a positive impact on their physical and psychological well-being. I applaud Ms. Carriero and the Board of Education for bringing in a solution that, at the onset at least, appears to be having a very positive impact on our students and our school culture and climate. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anyone else for public input number 1? Okay. We're gonna go to the president's comments. Tonight, I sent everyone a copy of the goals that are going to be on the agenda for adoption. If there's any questions or discussions, changes, now would be the time to do so. If not, I would like to take them and get them up on the website as official. So, Sam, you need me to go over them quickly, or we're all good with them?
I just saw the ones, for some reason my internet's not working on a second, but the ones you had sent, the ones that were attached to the agenda, I thought had the liaisons from last year on them.
No,
Oh, these are the, sorry, that's later.
no, that's later. This is
Sorry.
goals.
Goals.
Yeah.
It's on the second page, the back page.
That's-
Back in the first page.
Love it. It is. Everyone's- Did you miss that?
Thank you, Madam President.
You're welcome, Sam.
The goals are on the agenda.
Yeah.
Yep. I'm good with them.
Okay. Great. Thank you, everybody who got us to where we got them quickly and efficiently, and we'll get them adopted tonight, and we'll be good. That's all I have for myself. Mr. Nichols, would you have a superintendent report tonight?
I do, and I'll just talk real briefly about the logistical elements of the Yonder implementation. I know Mr. Malia just talked about it, but just so the board knows, the whole staff, faculty and staff, not just teachers, on Superintendent's Conference Day, sat through a Yonder presentation by one of the Yonder reps. There was one person here on Superintendent's Conference Day from the company. The first day for students, there were 2 Yonder employees here to assist us. The second day for students, there was 1 Yonder employee. Initially, we started with 4 locations, and those being the cafeteria, the Germain lot, the Division Street entrance, and the middle school entrance. And what Ms. Carriero and the other administrators and clerical staff who assisted with the checking in of students, and at the end of the day, what they found was that the cafeteria was not utilized. Only 3 students were utilizing it. So now we have 3 entrance and exits, which are Germain, Division, and the middle school. In addition to that, the seniors are required to check out for lunch and then check back in. Because remember, they're able to use their phones when they depart campus. So we have to make sure that they're unlocked and then locked when they come back in. The first day for students, that was the roughest day because we had to take time away from academic support, roughly about 10 minutes. So it was a bit of a logistical mess, but I think sort of expected. I think day 2, actually, things they did improve significantly. And now, from what I understand, they're just being dismissed at the regular time. The AD was given a magnet. So Mr. Tardif is dealing with the phones with the athletes who need to leave early as part of shared sports programs. But other than that, it looks like it's going pretty well. And that's a logistical summary. Any questions?
Anybody have any questions? Brian, you over there thinking like.
No,
you might
I
have a
just, I
question?
wasn't sure, like, so it's been pretty smooth going in and out of the building in the morning with the kids, like today was raining and we're,
Yeah, I think the best person to ask would be Ms. Van Duzer and Ms. Carriero, because they're
So you
there.
ran the middle
The
school.
6th grade
so
thing.
the
In
sixth
the
grade-
morning, it's a slow, steady pace of kids because they come, we open the door at 7:30, so they have 21 minutes really to come in at any time, so it's never that busy. And then even in the afternoon, we have one on the wall that the magnet screws off of. And then we have another clerical staff, and they've gotten it down to a science where they know we're on the first day, like they were forgetting their phone out of their bag and their yonder pouch. Now they're coming in and they have everything ready, so I would
The
say it's
equivalent
going
of getting your
well.
change if you were paying in cash
Yeah.
at a store of how to get it into your wallet quickly. So because the initiative is get to the phone as quick as possible, they're pretty good about putting it in, and taking it out. Because like, they don't want to be late to class because they don't want to be late, because of the consequences there. And when they leave, they know how to do it actually faster than us sometimes. So it's gone better. I feel like the first week and a half was the hardest because they had to figure out the pouch and how to work it. Because the green side goes down and you have to press the button. If you hit it correctly right on the magnet, it pops up right away, but it's been pretty seamless. And I think we added extra, I think the first week and a half, we kept moving where magnets should be or adding magnets depending on it. So for example, when the seniors were leaving, they were leaving through the main entrance, but we also realized that parents drop off lunch at the same time. So it was like too many people coming in and out of the building. So we moved the seniors to exit by the division street lot by the guidance and the AP's office, so they can just leave straight out of there, sign out, and that made it smoother. And then that only took about not even 5 minutes for them to leave.
Okay.
So the other thing I'd be remiss if I didn't mention is that I received 2 or 3 calls, and I think Ms. Carrier
6.
received 6 of people who were upset with the policy. And the discussions I had with the people were that it was really the classic equation of individual rights versus what the goal is, which is the collective good. And so the people I spoke to were resented the fact that they thought this was overreach with regard to their individual rights. And I said they were entitled to their opinion, but that the institution had decided through the Board of Education that this was something we were going to try. And that we would work with them to the extent that we could within the framework of what the rule was for reasonable accommodations. So that's that.
Hey, any board members have any other questions?
No, I would just make a comment that everybody that's approached me about this has been very thankful and said it's great and they love it. And so it seems like it's working.
I actually had a senior tell me yesterday, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, but they have to remember to turn their phone off when they put it in the yonder pouch, or when they open it, their phone's dead, which has been a challenge for them, but
Yeah, the feedback I get from kids is usually like, I'm not supposed to tell you I like it, but if anybody asks, I hate it, but it's actually really good.
Yeah. Okay. All right, principal's report. Mr. Malone?
Sure.
Great.
The setup we have, it just needs to speak up a little bit tonight so they can be heard.
Sure,
online.
sure.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am pleased to report that the start to the school year at the elementary school has been going very well. As a school, we've focused around our new theme, which is Reach for the Stars. And currently in all of our classrooms, the students are having rich discussions about some goal setting for the year. And in addition, we're also using it as an opportunity to have some discussions and presentations at morning program to further students' exploration of the solar system and space. It's a fascinating topic for boys and girls, and we hope to inspire them to maybe do some research and think about some potential careers and really just enjoy such a study. We had a great back to school barbecue on Friday. This is an annual event where we get a chance to celebrate the start to the school year and enjoy coming back together. So big thank you to our PTA and our faculty and staff and all the parents who supported that. And lastly, this Thursday is an important evening for parents and guardians. It's our curriculum night. This is an opportunity for family members to come to the school in the evening, meet with the classroom teachers as well as all of the specialists throughout the building, and learn about what the students will be studying all year, as well as policies and procedures in the classrooms.
Great. Any questions? No? Great.
Okay,
Thank you.
So good evening, Brittany Carrier, middle high school principal. We already talked about the yonder, so I'm not going to get into that. we've had a lot going on within the first few weeks of school. The sixth grade has really acclimated. The week before school started, we had an orientation, which we think went really well. And I feel like the sixth graders are really happy to be in middle school right now. We had the first week of school, a college application workshop. Miss Model, our college and career counselor, has been working with seniors on their next step in the process after upon graduation, which comes up quickly. And then Miss Van Duzer, our middle school assistant principal, has implemented the iReady data-driven instruction to benchmark assessments. So our students in grades 6 through 8 have taken an online adaptive assessment to assess what grade level they are starting at in ELA and math. We're really excited to use it this year, and then also use our other data like the state test scores and their grades to see the growth throughout the year through our students. And this weekend is big for our high school students. The homecoming weekend starts. So Friday will be a pep rally during academic support. And then 6 to 9 at night is the annual PTSA Carnival in our backfield. Please come and support our whalers. And then Saturday morning at 9 a.m. there will be our annual parade up Main Street to Mashash Mulet Park. And then each class will be, of course, competing, and they will be finalizing that with their skits. And then right after that, Mr. Tardif has scheduled games so that we can just keep cheering the students on throughout that. I believe there's a field hockey and then a soccer game following the parade and skits. And then next Wednesday is 9/27 is our curriculum evening, which the teachers get to explain their syllabus and their curriculum to the parents. I think it's more stressful for the parents to realize how far and students have to travel throughout our building and get lost. This year, our National Honor Society members will be helping parents navigate our building, even though it seems like it's not that big, it is big. And we're just excited to share what we're doing and happy to be in the classroom again.
Great. Any questions? No? Okay. Thank you, Mr. and Ms. Carriers. We're going to move on to the consent agenda. And we're going to do consent agenda items. And let's change to this background. Okay. 8.1 through 11.14. You have a motion.
So
Second.
Second. Okay. Eric, could you put the vote in, please?
it's open.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, we've just adopted our board and district goals for 22 and 2023. Oh my God.
Wait, there was that one, Mary, that I said that we should get rid of in
11-12 to remove the vocal coach.
It's
Yeah,
not, it's not on
It is. It is.
It's
It's just
not-
not a separate line item. It's in.
Okay. It's not on mine.
I just need to, in the minutes, I need to remove that.
Okay, I have 11-12 as being accepted resignation, so that's why I just went through it on my computer, so.
We have to,
See what-
11-12 is the agenda item.
Yeah.
Appoint Pearson Co-Curricular Enrichment Club advisors. And then it's within this chart, the vocal coach that I will take out.
Okay,
the minutes will reflect a change.
Yes, that is what I reflect the change.
yeah, got it, I got it, I understand, I understand what you're saying.
Okay,
That was my mistake, not yours, sorry, Mary.
yeah, no problem.
So we're good with that, ma'am?
Yes.
Okay, great. Items for discussion. Board liaison and committees. So I think we've already done it with the board. There might have been a couple of board members that weren't here. So if we can just open that up or go on to your paper agenda. The audit committee, we said we were keeping the same, am I correct?
I believe so, unless,
Someone else on the board would like to step in. Or anybody jump at once?
Dan, did you want to join that one or? I just can't remember.
I could, I probably wouldn't be appropriate, obviously, a chair, but
There was no pressure there, I just couldn't remember the discussion.
So I would,
Still on the calendar committee. I would like to be,
It's not a real
on the
committee.
calendar committee?
yes,
Yeah, okay. We'll make sure you put you on that out.
thank you.
I would like on all the committees that have like Betty as the chair for the diversity and inclusion. Jennifer is the chair for the educational facilities. If you could just on those committees policy, if you could, and of course the Wall of Honor, if you could go through those and see if there's any board members that have, their 3 years is up. If they've missed more than 3 meetings in a row, just so that we can try to get new people, yeah.
You said board members, but you meant.
I'm sorry, I did, yeah, committee members, sorry. We can get new people from the community involved in those organizations. So if you could do that so that Mary can then post on the website, call the newspapers, et cetera, to try to get new people. From there, we're gonna add board members and committees.
Yes. Yeah, I think so.
All right. Diversity and inclusion. Right now we have only, it looks like only Ron Reed is the only board member on that.
Sandy, I'm happy to join anyone that you think you need more support on.
I think diversity and inclusion would be a fabulous one for you to be on.
Okay. I'm happy to be included.
Great, thanks. Anyone else? Okay, educational facilities planning. It's myself, Ryan, and Ron. Does anybody want to go on that? That would actually be a really good one for Alex to be on.
Which one is this?
Educational facilities planning.
Okay,
I'll come off of it
okay, I'll do it.
if you want to do it.
Okay,
And we'll do this. If you can't go, I'll go in your place.
okay.
Okay. Ryan and Ron, are you guys still okay to be on that, or do you want to take a break from it? What do you want?
I'm fine to continue on.
Okay,
I'll continue.
okay. I think
That's the right location for us.
I was just saying
Yeah.
that's where you guys should kind of be. Policy committee.
Sandy, is it normal, or is it appropriate, I should say, for board members to be on more than one, or?
Oh, yeah, you can be on as many as you'd like. If there's one that I've spoken that you'd like to be, we can't have 4 because we can't have a quorum.
Yeah,
And some of them I think actually call for 2.
okay.
Yeah,
It just seems like you're well represented on audit, and if you need me to be on policy as well, I'm happy to support it.
That would be great. I think you'd actually be, like, given your background, you'd actually be really helpful on that committee.
Happy to do it.
great, okay. Wall of Honor, I don't know if you've all noticed, but the Wall of Honor is up. It looks great. We're starting to get to work on getting new applicants for new honorees for that. Is there anyone else besides myself that would like to join that? I will say that everybody on that committee has graduated Pearson High School.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. It seems like
Just
pretty
saying.
well situated. in my
Okay,
opinion.
all right, yeah, I don't disagree. Okay, so then if the chairs could just work on that and get that to me as soon as possible, that would be great. No, not like, don't stop everything you're doing, but I would like to get these up and running by at least mid-October, please. The liaison, Grania, who is not here tonight, said that she would like to continue being on the audit and the Historical Society Museum. So, John Germain Library, if there's somebody who has a vested interest that would like to go to those meetings, or we can keep it as board or district representatives as needed.
This obviously is an area where, as part of our goals, we're hoping to amp up relationships and also however you want. I'm happy to, so I don't know if you want to do individual ones or just deploy as necessary, but just.
So believe it or not, they don't really call us and say like, do they need something like they have their vote coming up, I think next week.
September 28th.
Yeah, they have a budget vote. We always had a person specifically appointed to go to their monthly meetings.
Got it.
But it just became kind of just redundant that it really didn't warrant us to report back or a major you know, investment with the school, even though it should because it's the library.
Got
So if you'd like to be the liaison and go to their meetings once a month, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, I'm happy, I obviously couldn't go to all of those, but I mean.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I mean, yeah.
I think the reason why we switched a bunch of these to board or district representative was just because we like it would turn out, for example, there was a year where I was the representative for Safe in Sag Harbor,
Right,
but they would have meetings at a time where I couldn't make it.
right,
And then they would actually, anytime that something really school related came up, they would reach out to Mr. Nichols anyway. So it didn't seem like it was necessary to have a person
yeah,
identified to
right,
be
got it.
their liaison.
Yeah,
that's
so maybe the message is if you know, happy to go to things that need representation, if you
Okay, great.
come up and.
I'm gonna have Mary send you the director's name so that you can get in contact with her and let her
Okay.
know that you're
Okay.
available and you'd like to,
Super,
you know, bring the school and the library a little bit closer.
super.
Great.
At the wharf, at the Harbor Fest this weekend,
Uh-huh.
the Eastville Museum had a table and two lovely people were working that and passing out literature and all. Do they show up in any of the local organizations that we liaise with? Or?
No, I don't, no, not to my knowledge, since I've been on board. You, Jack?
No, we have worked with them in some of our social studies classes, especially at the high school level in the past, but not a liaison capacity.
Legislative?
I think it's the
Again,
same thing.
I think it's the same
Maybe
thing,
you
and
have
if it
to
is,
the
yeah,
appropriate
it would be
person.
you or Alex, I would assume. Mash Park, it would be myself and Ryan, because I know Ryan wanted to start to get involved in that.
Yep.
Okay. PTA, I know we already did this, so
I think we said Dan would be the PTA.
Dan would do PTA,
right?
'cause
Sure.
yeah, because
Yeah,
you're at the
I
meetings.
I go to those meetings. So
Yep.
there's
Yeah.
one tomorrow morning.
Great. And PTSA was
I can.
That was you.
see
Safe in Sag Harbor.
unless someone-
That was an as needed one, I think.
I know, they are really pushing for a person to be on their board. They spoke to me also at Harbor Fest, and I just said, you know, a lot of people don't realize that we are volunteers and we have enough, we do a lot of meetings and a lot of stuff, but as needed is fine with me to continue. And even if they needed you, you told them to call,
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd be happy, it's just, that's.
right?
We
Oh.
at Pearson, sorry to interrupt, but we at Pearson rotate our PPS staff to attend those meetings.
Oh,
Good, so
Yeah.
we're gonna have someone there.
good, that's good to know, thank you. Sag Harbor Village Board. Do we want it to be Ryan or was it Ron that was gonna do it this time?
Ron, did you want to do that?
Yeah. Are you okay with giving them up?
I'm fine, yeah, I did it last year, but it's fine.
Dwelling Museum, same thing. And then the church,
I think we were talking about making that either just not something we needed a
I don't-
liaison or
yeah, I
to
don't
have
think
a board district representative as needed.
yeah, board district representative as needed. Okay, Mary,
Unless someone wants to.
unless someone wants it. And then shared decision making. That's not a board committee, but a state requirement. So I know the administrators worked on that last year. They gave us an update at the end of the year, and I assume you'll do the same this year. So thank you on that. And that should just about do it on the committees then. Are we good? Okay. The only other thing I did want to bring up, Jeff, is that you had mentioned 4 presentations.
Yeah,
So let's just get those on the table and
so I had mentioned as educational presentations, in no particular order. This is from memory. One for the food program, one for the co-curricular program, and co-curricular was gonna cover like the arts and those types of things. One for college admissions, and the last one. Looking over at Mr. Malone, and I can pull it up right here. Let's see.
Data,
Yeah, we have.
data,
That was.
data.
assessment overview,
Oh, was it assessment?
3A, IB and anything.
Yeah. So that the assessment, 3 through 8 assessments, New York State Regents, IB, AP, and to the extent it's valid anymore, because not everybody's taking them, the ACTs and the SATs. And that would be, we do some comparative analysis and those types of things. We just got the 3 through 8 assessment results last week,
Mhm.
for last test, so.
Okay.
we have those and we can move forward with the presentation. I think the first two that I'd like to go with would be the assessment, and the food program. And then we can do the latter two towards the middle end of the year.
Any discussion on that? Everybody good with those four? Those would be almost similar to a workshop, so I think that those are four good ones and that was good.
How
Okay,
long does it take before the 338 assessments end up on the parent portal for parents to see?
Brittany and Matt, how long usually?
Those were just released on Friday, so we wanted to take a look at them this week.
And then we have to make sure,
By next week, we were thinking of posting.
and we usually post them on eSchool and then you send out a parent.
High school.
Yep. On the portal, yeah.
good. Are there any other items for discussion? From anyone? Okay. Public input number 2, the same rules from public input number 1 apply to public input number 2. I don't believe we have anybody else in the audience. So I'm going to ask for a motion to convene to executive session to discuss contracts. May I have a motion? Second. All in favor?
That's unanimous.
Thank you all.